Well, good morning everyone. Back in this fantastic spot down here in the MAHENO zone, and thankfully I was right. The weather sort of cleared up for us, and have a look at that. That's what we're after right there. Some nice sunny weather. Absolutely picturesque morning here on the eastern beach of Fraser Island. So I guess I'm kind of glad that the weather did clear up for us, because today we are going to be heading north. We're going to be tackling Ngkala Rocks, which is a quite infamous spot here on the island for people getting bogged. We're going to check out Indian Head as we begin heading up that way, and to a camp spot this afternoon somewhere on the northern side of Ngkala Rocks. So really looking forward to that. Now once we head over Ngkala Rocks, the remainder of the trip will actually be spent up there above in the northern region. So up until now we've kind of stayed on the southern region. We've done all the inland parts, we've done the west coast, and now we are heading north, and we're going to do the north section of the island, and I'm really keen for it, especially if we get more of this. This is just amazing. So still fairly early, but we're just going to be hanging around here, begin packing up, and then we'll be on our merry way and into today's adventure. Righto, we're out on the beach now. We've left our camp spot in the MAHENO zone. It's a fantastic little spot, that one. And now we're heading north, so really keen to see what the north end of Fraser has to offer. Let's get into it. We had an awesome start to the day, and the sun was beaming as we powered north. Our first planned destination was WADDY Point. We planned to skip Champagne Pools and Indian Head and leave them for the return from the north of the island. Before we could get to WADDY Point though, there was a large inland detour track around Indian Head, and it was proving to be a little bit of fun. Having a bit of fun here on this inland track behind Champagne Pools. The car park was absolutely chock-a-block when we went past there, and we couldn't find a spot, so we're just powering on behind it now, obviously, as you can't drive around it due to the tides. So yeah, interesting little track actually. It's a little bit more rutted out than I expected, and the beginning was actually quite soft. There's a lot of traffic coming through this region, as I'm sure this is one of the most popular areas on Fraser. So it'll be interesting to see what we end up doing, as Champagne Pools was on the to-do list for today, but we've had to drive past. So we definitely will check that out at the next given opportunity, which is probably going to be on the way back down. So we'll see what else we can do today. At this moment, we're just heading through the inland track towards Orchid Beach. Righto, we've ventured down the beach after that cool little inland track there behind Champagne Pools. Now we're at WADDY Point, so we're going to go have a little bit of an explore here and see what it's like. It's a cool looking area here on the other side of the beach, so we're now on the northern side of the island, and yeah, looking forward to spending the next couple of days here. Waddy Point here. It's just absolutely beautiful. Just out here behind me, you can see how nice it is out there. We're going to be camped somewhere up there tonight on this part of the beach. Absolutely keen for it. It's going to be spectacular. Not sure how well the GoPro will pick it up here, but there's actually also a pod of dolphins just out there. Spectacular. How cool is this? Now, Waddy Point is one of a few rock formations on the island. There are not many, and so it's pretty awesome to be able to climb all the way up here. Just a spectacular view. How awesome is Waddy Point? First we had that pod of dolphins just show themselves out there before, and now just out here we have a couple of whales that just breached. And how awesome is that? It's not very often you get to see that, especially so close to one another. First the dolphins and now the whales. How cool is Waddy Point? Well, that's Waddy Point all done, and I have to say it was absolutely spectacular for a first stop here on the north side of the island. I cannot wait to see what else this side of the island has to offer. So we're going to head on now up the beach and continue exploring.
Now, how amazing was Waddy Point? We trekked on up the beach a little bit more in this amazing weather looking for a camp, and it wasn't long before we had found a suitable candidate.
Wow, would you get a look at this view, guys? Welcome to the Ocean Lake camping zone. Man, is this awesome. Just a little bit north of Orchid Beach. You can see Waddy Point out there where we stopped just before, and right here is where we're going to be camped for the night. I managed to snag a spot here, everyone else just down there behind. I thought, man, there's no way that I could miss up a spot like this, even if it means I'm a little bit away from the group. Absolutely beautiful spot. Just a couple of whales out there before jumping out, so man, am I keen to get set up here. Well, I don't think that we could ever get sick of a view like this. Everyone's migrated up here, so that must mean it's pretty good. Anyway, looking forward to a good night tonight, because we have a big day ahead of us tomorrow. Oh, good morning guys, from this absolutely stunning camping spot here in the Ocean Lake zone on the eastern beach of Fraser. Have a look at that beautiful sunrise this morning. The sun is still beaming off the water, just absolutely pristine. We've been really lucky on this trip to actually have such amazing weather. We've only had one day of rain, and that was a fairly quiet day for us. We just let it blow over, and thankfully the next day we were greeted to this, and man, could not be happier. And I'm really excited that today is such a beautiful day, because today is the day that we're going to be doing the big miles and heading right up to the tip. That's right, today we're going to be camping at Sandy Cape, which is right on the tip of Fraser Island, and I'm really excited for that, because it's such a beautiful day, and hopefully we get an absolutely awesome sunset up there. You can see the west coast from that side, so I'm absolutely keen. So with that being said, that means that today we need to tackle probably Fraser's most difficult obstacle, and that is Ngkala Rocks. So I thought that we were going to get that done yesterday, but it turns out that our camping zone is just a few hundred meters south of Ngkala Rocks, so we'll be doing that today. And yeah, fingers are crossed it all goes well for it. So we'll just be soaking up this morning view here for a little while we pack up, and then we'll be getting on the move and putting in the big miles up to the tip. Righto, here we go. We're moving now, and our first stop, Ngkala Rocks. Bring it on. Let's see how we go. Righto, here we are at Ngkala Rocks. Just having a look before we attempt it ourselves, and yeah, it's quite daunting. It's an LDV almost off the cliff down there.
It's not that daunting.
And there's a Prado that's bogged there, so yeah, this could be interesting. Muddy seems confident though, don't you, mate?
Yep, please.
Yep. We'll see how it goes anyway. Wait for these guys to get out of the way, and then we'll give it a crack. All right. Let's do it. A little bit nervous, there's a big crowd up there, but sure we'll be right.
Flat, mate. I did know. That's how you do that. Wrong gear.
Righto, there's Ngkala Rocks under the belt. Only one of us got stuck in the end. That was Dad and the Ranger, just not quite enough clearance. So that's payback for Gardens of Stone there when he had to pull me out and I got stuck. So Dad got bogged at Ngkala Rocks. Not sure what we're going to do, how we're going to get him around. The tow truck's actually just arrived for this LDV that's literally hanging off the cliff here. It's going to be quite interesting to see how they recover it. There's been a few nice trucks come through here as well, and all the boys got through in the end, so it's good stuff. They're all cheering, there they are. Woo! Happy days. Well, aren't we all relieved to have Ngkala Rocks under our belt. We're powering up north now to the tip, and really looking forward to it. A little bit sad that Dad couldn't make it through, but that's alright. They've got a beautiful view back there at Ocean Lakes waiting for them, so that should be alright. We'll see them in the morning anyway when we head back down. It's absolutely picturesque day. A couple of little fun rock sections in the north end here, so it's been a good day so far.
Go that way, that way. Go, come on. Yeah, go like that, right? That one looked better. Good work, young fella.
After Ngkala Rocks, it was a straightforward drive straight up to the tip. We were all as keen as ever to get there and mark the last destination off our bucket list.
Righto, we have made it to the tip. Here we go. We're at Sandy Cape Lighthouse, and just out there laying on the beach casually there's a dingo. That was a little bit crazy. We just thought it was a rock or something, and then he popped his head up. Lucky he did that, otherwise, yeah, it would have been an interesting situation. So it was a great drive up here. The thing about the tip is there's not quite as much beach as everywhere else, so the waves are coming right up, and now we're on our way up to the lighthouse. It's going to be a interesting little walk. I'm keen to see it. Let's get into it. Well, here we are. And there is Sandy Cape Lighthouse. It's quite a spectacular structure on the northern end here of Fraser. It's now maintained by the Mainland Safety Authority, but it was obviously manned over the years. There's a little kind of settlement up here that people would have lived in that worked here. Out there is a just fantastic view out there of the ocean. Wow, you'd never get sick of a view like this if you worked here, would you? Just fantastic. How good was Sandy Cape Lighthouse? This was sort of the main objective for us here on our Fraser trip. Trek all the way up here in the end and get to the most northern point of the island. And there it is. That's Sandy Cape Lighthouse done and dusted. We are now heading down, back down to the bottom. There are some old World War II communications bunkers down in the scrub down there somewhere. We're going to go take a look at them. Pretty excited for it. From memory, you can sort of go through and have a look at them all, so okay to check it out. So we're coming down the track from Sandy Cape Lighthouse, and literally just off the side of the track there is a dingo sitting in the bush eating something. We would have walked straight past it, wouldn't have even noticed. It's quite crazy how well they blend in. We're obviously going to leave it alone, but Steve and Mark still have to walk down the track, so we're just kind of waiting for them and watching this dingo do its thing. But yeah, I didn't even see it. How's that, eh? There was an interesting little encounter there with that dingo. We were only standing there for about 30 seconds and it came and burled up at us. So we had to scare it off in the end. We actually were backing away from it and it was still coming towards us, and in that instance, just make a bit of noise and they should leave you alone. But yeah, could be a little bit frightening. Just hoping that Steve and Mark get down the track all right. We scared it off the track and left it about its day. So hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Finally, rocks.
So we're at the first of a few of the RAAF bunkers that are here, and their condition is a little bit second-hand, but they are quite well concealed. It's hard to tell if they are a shell of what they were formerly, or they're just very well concealed. You can see a little entrance just there, and it's kind of hard to tell anything else, whether there's anything down below or anything like that. We really don't know. So yeah, interesting. Doesn't look like much, but there could be some more down there. You know, we're going to continue exploring, as there are a few of these around, and hopefully ones we can get a little bit of a better look at. So we did manage to get to the end of this track here, and I seemed to be wrong. There were no more bunkers that we could have a look at through there, just the remnants of that one. And at the end of the track here, there are two graves, and they belong to the first head lightkeeper of Sandy Cape Lighthouse and his daughter, marked off here. So it's pretty cool to see. Sad, but you know, it's good to see that it's still here in its current condition and that they can be remembered here, and there's actually a way to come and do that. So yeah, that's an interesting walk for sure. We knew we had to be getting close to something, but there it is. This is the end of the track down the bottom here at Sandy Cape Lighthouse. Righto, we're back down here on the beach after completing Sandy Cape Lighthouse. Fantastic track up there, and then second track was pretty awesome as well. We're back down on the main beach and we're going to go find a camp spot. So I'm keen to see where we end up.
Up on the northern tip, there isn't as much room on the beach between the dunes and the water compared to the main beach. The tide was beginning to come in and fast, so we had to get a move on and find a camp spot for tonight before we became stuck.
So we found ourselves a pretty nice spot here to camp along the beach, just in time. As you can see, we can't actually get any further down because the tide is coming in, so yeah, we've managed to get a good spot that can fit us all. I think this one here tonight is going to be another contender, potentially for the best spot on the trip, because if you have a look out there, the sun is going to come down right over there. It's going to be an epic sunset tonight, so really keen for that. I suppose all we have to do now is get set up, so let's do that.
I said, go to sit over here away from the sun.
Hi boys, cheers from the tip of Fraser.
Cheers, boys.
There we go, we made it. Wow, how good is this spot? So the tide is coming right up here, almost all the way up to camp, which is just there. Lockie's out having a fish. There are plenty of dingo tracks just around here, so it'll be interesting to see if we get any visitors tonight. But man, just soaking in that view for our last beach camp of the trip. Just fantastic. Well guys, would you get a look at that sunset? How amazing, and what a night to spend our final beach camp here on Fraser. Truly stunning. I think this is going to go down as one of our greatest trips of all time. This trip has been just awesome. Couldn't have been happier with the weather. A couple of good sunsets like this, just God. Well guys, I think that means it's time for us to sit down and relax and enjoy this sunset, because man, are we going to miss this when we're off the island. I can tell you that much. So we're going to see you guys in the morning. Guys, we're greeted with an absolutely beautiful sunrise here at the tip of Sandy Cape. How awesome. I'm up early today to actually see what the tide's doing, because in this particular spot the tide comes right up almost to the campsite, and it would be quite difficult to drive down if the tide is up. So I'm just coming to see the tide's going out, which it looks like it is. There's a little bit more beach space, which is good, so we might not be stuck here for as long as we thought. What a way to spend the final beach camp here on the island with a view like this. Absolutely awesome sunrise and sunset in this spot. Definitely a contender for the best spot. Just out off the shore here, I've just seen there are actually a pot of dolphins as well this morning, so yeah, beautiful morning here on the Cape. So we're all pretty well packed up here at Sandy Cape. I've just gone for a walk up the beach to have a look at the tide. So this is sort of what we're waiting for here. The tide is receding. It's just this small section here of wood that's really close to the shore that we won't be able to get around for probably another half an hour, 45 minutes until the tide goes out a little bit more. And even then, I think we're going to have to be timing some waves pretty well. So that's all we're waiting for there, and after that we'll be heading back down the beach, and we have Ngkala Rocks to deal with again. This time though, it's the hard way, they say, as we're coming in from the other side. So right away we have that steep, soft, hilly incline, and yeah, a little bit nervous for that, but I was nervous yesterday when it was alright, so hopefully it's all good in the end. Anyway, we're not going to know until we do it, but I'm keen anyway. So that's what we're waiting for now, just waiting for the tide to go out a little bit more, and we'll be on our merry way. Righto, we made it through that little sketchy section back there with the tide. Looks like we timed it pretty well actually. So now we're back out on the main beach and heading straight for Ngkala Rocks. See how that is this morning. Hopefully get a nice early run on that and everything's all good. Should be some fun. Righto, here we are back at Ngkala Rocks on the hard side. So just getting ready, dropping in low range and see how we go. This is going to be interesting. A little bit nervous, but just going to give it the beans and hope for the best. How good is that? We got Ngkala Rocks under the belt again, the hard way. That was a lot of fun there. Pretty much just pinned it the whole way. Did get a bit bumpy, but got through in the end and no casualties. So really happy with that. We're on our way back down the beach now. We're going to head into Orchid Beach, have a look, as well as then head down to Champagne Pools and Indian Head before we find a camp at Dundabara. Really keen. It's been a fantastic morning and a great camp last night. Really stoked to have Ngkala Rocks back under the belt. So let's see where today's adventure takes us. So this is Orchid Beach, a little convenience store, fuel station and restaurant here. Just met up with Dad again, who camped back in Ocean Lake Zone last night in a really nice spot. So we're meeting up here, just grabbing a couple of things, and then we'll be heading down on our way towards Indian Head and Champagne Pools. I'm really keen to get that done as we didn't get to do it on the way up, so really keen for that. Well, cool little stop here at Orchid Beach. Met up with Dad again, so now we're going to be heading south further. Hopefully get a good look at Champagne Pools and Indian Head. I'm really keen for that as we missed out doing that on the way down. Here we are at the Champagne Pools, one of the more well-known attractions here on Fraser. Really keen to check these out. So they're just like some rock pools down on the side of Indian Head, so I'm really keen to go and suss it out. The weather is absolutely perfect. Let's go see what's like. what a beautiful sight the champagne pools are. It's a little bit too windy to get any drone footage of it, so unfortunately couldn't do that. But it's still absolutely amazing sight. Another one of the must visits here in Fraser Island. It's quite incredible actually that just this natural rock formation turns into a pool at low tide. It's yeah, it's pretty awesome. So that's Champagne Pools done and dusted. A really beautiful spot there. The next stop is Indian Head, which actually isn't too far away. Alrighty, so we are here at Indian Head, which is a little bit further up than Champagne Pools, and it's just a huge rock formation on the coast. I don't believe there is any way to actually get up there. There's a big closed sign on the rocks, so I don't think we're going to be able to get up there to get any photos from the top. But it's pretty awesome. You come by here, it is the largest rock formation on the island, I believe. It's just enormous. And it's blowing an absolute gale, so I won't be able to put the drone up. I'm just going to have to admire this massive spectacle of nature from a distance, I think. I think that the reasoning for the closure up there on Indian Head is it looks like there are some birds that may be nesting and have eggs and stuff up there, so I think that's why they've closed it off, which is understandable. So now all we really have left to do is head down to Dundabara and find ourselves a nice camp spot for today. Righto, welcome to Dundabara camping area here in the eastern beach of Fraser Island. This is going to be our final camp here on the island. So we managed to find ourselves a little space in here that's big enough for everyone, and yeah, we're all together for the last night here on the island, so it's going to be a good one. Dundabara is a dedicated actual campground, so unlike the camping zones on the beach, it's fully fenced off. You know, dingoes can't get in. There's toilets and showers and stuff here, so what a way to spend the final night on the island after what has been one hell of an adventure. It has been a really great last 10 or so days. Couldn't be happier with how this trip turned out so far. I think the boys are all pretty happy with it too, so yeah, looking forward to just enjoying our afternoon here and enjoying the last night here on the island.
For the remainder of the afternoon, we sat around and enjoyed the atmosphere of Dundabara and soaked it all in, reminiscing over the trip and enjoying our final night on the island.
Oh, good morning guys from Dundabara camping area here on the east coast of Fraser. Today is the day that we'll be departing the island. So it's been a fantastic 10 days on here, and it's been an all-timer. We've had a great trip. We've pretty well covered absolutely everything. We've done all the inland stuff right up to the Cape, and we've stayed in some incredible camping spots. It'd be really hard to pick a favourite, I reckon. I think it's a tie between Sandy Cape and Awinya Creek. Just amazing, those two spots. So I also want to thank Steve from Mudducks 4-Wheel Drive Touring for planning, organising and leading this trip here. It's been fantastic.
great itinerary and he's been a great trip leader, so make sure you head over to Mudducks 4-wheel drive touring to see his interpretation of this epic adventure. So that's pretty well it, guys. All that we have left to do now is pack up and head down the beach and catch the INSKIP Point ferry, and then we are off the island. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this series up to this point, and like I said, it's been one hell of an adventure. So now we're going to get packed up and start making our way down to the punt. Well guys, there you have it. There's the barge. There's the fearless leader, and that means our Fraser Island adventure is coming to an end, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks to Steve again for planning, organising, all that stuff for this trip.
Happy to have you, mate.
It was a great trip, guys. So thank you very much for watching this amazing adventure, and as always, we will see you
on the next one.
in the next adventure.